Leslie Schultz and Kelli Clark of CBI Telecommunications discuss national and global MPLS.
What are the strengths and advantages of MPLS over point-to-point or other data network solutions?
MPLS allows you to prioritize your network. For instance, if you want to run voice over your network along with your data, you can use the same connection to do that. So it does allow you to save on cost because you don't have to have a point-to-point, for instance, for your voice and a point-to-point for your data.
So that is cost savings usually?
Yes, there is cost savings with that because you don't have to have multiple circuits to do each function. For instance, you can also run video conferencing over your MPLS network along with the voice and the data. So there's lots of different services through class of service, the way the MPLS is set up.
Are there any downsides or gotchas to consider when choosing an MPLS provider?
Yes, there definitely is. You want to make sure, based on what your needs are, if you have a global network, if it's a domestic network, you really need to be concerned with if they provide managed services, which means that they would include the router in with the services. How much of the service do they manage? You want to make sure that with the MPLS network, it's all on that carrier's network and it's not being shared with other networks. You've got that option to make sure that your points of presence with the carrier are explained to you so that you know how your network's set up within the carrier.
Mm-hmm. So what are some of the challenges you think our clients face when they have to go with a global solution? We run into a lot where they have a national network and then they have an acquisition or a merger, and now the IT department is faced with choosing a global provider that can handle the MPLS.
You definitely want to make sure when you're choosing a new carrier or with your existing carrier that they have a global presence. A lot of the smaller carriers, tier 2, tier 3 providers, may not be able to provide the services that you need internationally. So you really want to make sure with a tier 1 provider that they provide service in all the countries that you're going to have locations in.
When is MPLS a good solution?
MPLS is a good solution for international locations, and it's also good for domestic. It really allows you to prioritize your network and be able to share the connection. If you're a company that wants to have your data and your voice running over the same connection. Another thing I'd like to bring to your attention with MPLS is your capabilities to set up a great disaster recovery plan. You would be able to use a data center that's off-site or in a different location in a different state, in maybe a co-located data center with another company, or you could use one of your other remote locations as the backup. In case of an outage with your main location and you lose services at that location, the backup plan would go into place and the remote locations would not lose any functionality because it would still stay up and running.